Welcome back to another edition of the All Out Club podcast. Bit of a different crowd, bit of a different background. Joined by Macca, Bence.
Hey Mick, how are you?
Hey. Yeah, look, Cordless is unfortunately in Japan, passed away. So
Rest in peace, Cord.
Rip, you'll be missed.
yeah, it's gonna be weird without him.
The
Better.
face of all outs.
The face of All Out is not on.
Yeah.
He's gonna be very critical of this podcast if it doesn't get well.
Mm-hmm.
But fuck him. All right. So lots of sports to talk about. Currently, the third test against Pakistan is on. We've just watched Cummins get a fifer, and we're watching what's his last name?
well,
Jamal.
Yeah, well, I think they just got out.
Jamal's on like 80, isn't he?
Nah, Jamal got like 82, and I think he got out. So I think we're going to send in Lyon and not Warner, just so Warner can be like sort of protected before the next day. But
Well, obviously Warner's last test match ever. Pretty polarizing player and end of his career. What are your thoughts on his career in total?
you go.
I've always loved David Warner, to be honest. High run rate, good to watch, but, obviously surrounded by controversy, but, I like him.
One thing it's sad to see about is him losing his baggy green.
That
Stolen.
is diabolical.
I don't know if it was stolen or
I think
something sus going on there.
I
I
don't know.
reckon.
Everything he does, I'm like a bit suspect on that. He probably just lost it, and he's like,
See, Chappelle Corby commented
yeah,
on
I
his
did see
post
that.
saying like, Qantas, what's going on?
She's trying to stay relevant. She fell off.
yeah.
Yeah, one of the all-time fall-offs.
Yeah. Bro got released from prison, then fell off.
Yeah,
That's tough to do.
That's crazy, man.
Bring it back to Cummins. 3 fifers in a row. That is ultra impressive.
Yeah.
It gets me thinking, is he, I'd say he's an all-time Australian great now.
Oh yeah, for sure. He'd probably. Just trying to think if he'd make our all-time 11 as a fast bowler. Be awfully close, I reckon,
He's got to make top 3 players ever, I reckon.
for Australia.
He's getting so much hype at the moment. Like
Yeah.
I've seen on SEN radio says, like, is he the best captain we've ever had? I think we had Mark Waugh or Michael Vaughan saying he's the best Australian player since Bradman,
Bradman.
which is a huge
Yeah,
call.
that's
I think that's pretty early to
that's a
say
bold
that.
take when we got someone on the team almost averaging 60. Like, so, but Cummins is definitely an all-time great. What does he average, like 20 with the ball?
He's averaging 21 with the ball.
Taking 300-ish wickets.
He's just as good as captain, like bowling.
Yeah,
Like sometimes you see people take the captaincy and they're simply not as good.
Yeah.
But
and he's gone well everywhere as well. He he performs
Then
everywhere.
again, we're also versing Pakistan, so we need to chill. Like,
Yeah.
everyone's hyping up a little bit. Like, relax.
Yeah, Pakistan have done well to get to 300 though.
Bence is right.
Also, that actually reminds me. Do we still think Brisbane Heat would beat Pakistan?
You boys got a bit of flack for that, eh?
I think it's unanimous.
We're really sorry to that Pakistan batting coach. We're so sorry, mate. But no one knows who you are.
Irrelevant.
I think he needs to stop commenting and get to work.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
actually coach your batters more. Maybe.
Look, we're a respectful podcast.
I'm just trying to start beef.
Especially Rizwan, I did wanted to see him get 100. But we'll move on. David Warner McKenzie just confirmed he didn't go into bat, but he'll go into bat tomorrow. But I think it's a good time to reflect what are David Warner's top 5 career moments. So in that number 5, it's got to be last summer, being the second player to score a double century in their 100th Test match. That was pretty impressive.
Special.
Again, it was against an easy team.
Yeah.
So 4 would probably be, I reckon, his most viral moment when he got 89 of 43 balls on his international T20 debut, and he hadn't even played a first-class
I
game.
remember thinking, who is this short scrub coming in? David Warner? Watch him get a duck and then he just teed off. I was like, "Oh."
Everyone thought, like, bro, why are we picking this guy?
Yeah.
Especially in tests as well.
Yeah.
Number 3, we got his test ton in one session, with Paul Renners stuck on the other end on 21 runs.
Mate, Renner's just holding down the fort. Respect.
That was an underrated batting
Partnership.
yeah. And second was his debut century holding a bat against New Zealand,
I forgot he did
123 runs. Probably one of the better maiden test centuries, I'd say.
that. Yep, agreed.
And number 1, it was against Pakistan. Hope the batting coach is listening. 335 not out
Yeah.
in 2019. Second highest score for Australia in Test cricket.
Yeah. And that was when he was like, his spot was sort of like people were saying he should be dropped and he gets 300.
Yeah.
And then other people, his detractors were saying, well, he got 300 against the worst Pakistan team ever.
Yeah.
So
I think
Still
one
impressive.
thing about Warner is undeniable. Him in Australia is like one of the best batters
yeah.
in their home turf
Yeah.
by far.
Yeah, I don't think no one who knows what they're talking about has ever said he shouldn't be picked in Australia. I think it's just overseas tests where he's obviously struggled.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
for example, in England, I think when he returned 2019, he had like the worst
Yeah.
average for an opener over a series, and then he comes and knocks 335. So just goes to show. I hope some of our players like Man or something like that as well.
Yeah, Mars has a lot to prove still. He's he struggled a bit recently as well.
Boys, we're gonna completely flip sports here. It's like real niche. We're bringing up darts.
Yeah, darts
'Cause
needs
why
more
not?
attention. Yeah, why not? Everyone loves darts. I don't,
Oh,
I don't think
mate.
everyone's ever said, you know what? Fuck darts. Like, no.
Darts is arguably the most like it's the best drinking sport
Yeah.
to go watch.
Well,
Guys
The
ever
crowds
been?
go wild.
Ever been?
I've never been, but it looks like
It
heaps of
looks
fun.
unreal, but I've never been.
Mate, the crowds are going off.
It'd be a massive thing like in Australia if it was more better run. I'd
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. Are there any Aussie darts players? Like, are there?
There's the one that looks like Brett Lee. I can't remember his name. There's,
Do you like Kevin Spacey? Right. Yeah. So English 16-year-old Luke Littler reaches the World Darts Championship final. And boys, my first thought is, bro is not 16.
Oh, he's 16 in leap years. All right.
He has a massive beard.
yeah.
He's got to be at least 28.
Receding hairline.
They've lost his birth certificate.
Bro's been held back.
Yeah.
And it gets me thinking, who are some athletes we've seen, especially in Australia, that just do not look their age? I'll read out a few. Rashid Khan.
Yeah.
Oh,
When he entered
he's
the
up there.
BBL,
Yeah.
18.
Yeah, Rashid Khan rocks up to the BBL full beard, like wrinkles. Going, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
18 years old. It's like my brother. You're from war-torn Afghanistan. I don't think you're 18.
For sure. We've got Corey Parker from the NRL. I reckon he was mid-20s with grey hair. We were going, what's going on there?
He shaved it off when it started getting grey, and I think he just didn't want to accept that he was getting grey hairs
Yeah.
mid-20s.
Yeah, that's fair. And then we got Boyd Cordner. I always thought he was
Yeah,
like about to retire. But he was like late 20s when he retired because of concussions.
Yeah, when he debuted for New South Wales, he was early 20s. He just looked so much older than he actually was.
There's definitely some NRL players, like Payne Haas, when he started,
Yeah.
he was about 18. He looked at least 28.
Yeah, well,
and
a
a
lot of these blokes, younger blokes debuting, like when Bradman Best debuted, I was like, this brother ain't 18.
Literally anyone from Kebra Park, you just look at their,
Yeah.
their highlights. Like they look about 25 in
David
size.
Fafita, like none of these people look their age.
David Fafita could have benched me when he was 12.
yeah.
Can you think of any others from other sports?
I
I reckon there'd be a few darts players that.
think I mentioned Diego Costa before. The soccer player looks real old.
Yeah,
He's
that's
been
right.
around for ages.
Oh, it's gonna be others.
He's
So there's
definitely one.
someone with a receding hairline, like a cricketer or something.
Lloyd Pope.
Lloyd Pope.
Yeah, Lloyd
yeah, when
Pope,
he was
okay.
playing the under 18
Speaking- yeah.
thing, you know.
Yeah.
his
Speaking of
hairline.
another downfall, unfortunately,
Mm,
Bro could not ball another ball other than a wrong one.
yeah.
Tough to
Shame.
say.
Yeah. How do you peak when he was 17? That
Shame,
hurts.
shame.
Bringing it back to NRL, a bit of news. Jerome Luai, the deal has been confirmed. Going to West Tigers in 2025, $6 million deal over 5 years. What are your thoughts, boys?
That's an overpay.
It's
I mean,
1.2 million.
It's an overpay.
At the end of the day, he's got 3 championships in a row. He's led who's he from? Where's he from?
Penrith?
No, I mean what country.
Oh, Samoa?
Samoa?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so.
he's led them to like
Yeah,
finals or whatever.
yeah.
He's an experienced player, but like I'm not saying he's a bad player, but paying 1.2 million a year for 5 years for him when you could get Joey Manu.
Yeah. I personally think it's definitely an overpay, but the criticism of us, people sort of saying, oh, he's a system player, but I think out of all the Penrith players, he was definitely the one that had sort of, he was sort of
He
the
got
one next to
carried.
Cleary that wasn't really a system player.
probably-
He was
yeah.
doing his own thing.
Yeah, I don't think he's a system player. I just don't think he's as good as. I don't think he's a $1 million level player yet. But he's still, what is he, 25, 26 maybe?
Yeah, he's still
Yeah,
young.
He could come into his own at Tigers and end up being worth that much.
I
But
think it gives him a chance to prove himself to
Yeah.
see if he can actually
Yeah.
lead a team.
yeah,
My biggest criticism of him was when they replaced him on Penrith, they were just as good.
yeah,
Yeah, Cogger. I think
Cogger, yeah.
Penrith
Yeah.
are laughing right now because I thought when Penrith had Cogger, they were looking just as good,
Yeah.
if not
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, well, a lot of
Yeah.
Penrith fans are like, oh, we should have kept Luai, we should have paid him. But like, nah,
But
you,
yeah.
you really don't need him, especially at that price.
Yeah.
I'd
I
love
think
for
that's-
Luai to prove us wrong, though. Like,
Oh,
go
yeah,
ahead.
for
I
sure.
definitely.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the detriment of him necessarily. I think that's just how good Nathan Cleary
And
is.
I
in
also,
Ireland.
I actually like the fact that Jerome Luai makes me so angry because like it just you need players like that
Yeah.
that get you fired up. Like
Yeah.
Trell Mitt, like I just every time I verse him, I just get
Yeah.
so angry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's Jerome Luai has brought back Origin.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he brings up the fire. Like
yeah.
it's
really.
easy for us to hate him, but then I like the sport wouldn't be the same without him.
Yeah,
you know what I
I
mean?
agree.
That's another thing about the NRL. Like Penrith are so good.
Mm.
I don't even like the Broncos, even though I'm from Brisbane.
Come on, bro.
I go for Dragons, but like, give me a fucking break.
Mm.
But like even the Broncos, I'm going for them because I just despise the team so much.
Yeah.
So it's just entertaining. Back to Penrith. To'o was seen wearing a Bulldogs
This
jersey.
is crazy news, guys.
I think it's definitely been blown way out of proportion.
I think it's just like old Australian heads that don't
Yeah.
understand that people can wear whatever jersey they want.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's it's so out of date. Like in the NBA, for example, like teams wear other jerseys all the time. Like it doesn't mean you want to play for the Bulldogs or you want to go to
Yeah.
the Bulldogs. It just means you're wearing a fucking jersey. Like maybe
Grow
maybe,
up.
maybe it matched the rest of his outfit or something.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
That kind of separate thing here, but do you guys think that the NRL should add names and numbers to jerseys?
Yeah.
Like for like,
What?
I reckon it would help the sales of jerseys so much as well. Because
Oh,
like
to the-
imagine
to the-
repping a hard player like Ponga #1.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that would be cool.
To the jerseys they sell. Yeah. I was like, I thought
Yeah,
you,
why
I
don't they
thought you
do
just
that?
meant like in general. I was like, I swear they already do.
No, it's just like an Origin. They have like the name and number.
Yeah,
I think
I-
it looks way
yeah,
cleaner.
that's
Yeah, I agree. I don't know why they don't do that.
I
budget.
think it'd be like the difference between that and like NBA is everyone wouldn't like who's gonna buy like a prop. It's like-
Yeah.
Corey Horsburgh jersey.
yeah,
Uh,
true. I guess they couldn't make, but they should make them for like the star players at least, like a
that's
Ponga
Yeah.
jersey or like a like a stag, not stags.
They should just have their
Matt Reece
face on
Walsh.
the back.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure Connor Burnshaw is on this podcast a lot. Has
Yeah.
a Ponga jersey or like a Ponga shirt or something.
It's glazing.
He has it. He has it. Bro.
Grow
He's
up.
got a Trell Mitt jersey
Yeah.
with like
No,
Trell
that's
Mitt.
respect.
He's probably got custom made, but instead of putting his own name, he put Ponga's name.
We'll move on to. We are a fantasy podcast. We've got to remember that. Not necessarily like club, but all at NRL.
Yep.
I've got some mid ranges to keep your eye out for. Ryan Pappenhausen, boys, $4.95K.
Yeah, it's a must buy.
Does
isn't it?
he start over that new bloke? What's his
Yeah, I
name?
think he
he
definitely
will.
does.
Yeah, he
But
definitely
if he's lurking on the bench, like, is that an issue? I feel like
does.
other bloke. I forgot his name, but I feel like
At
he's going to be lurking.
$4.95K, I think
Yeah,
it's
it's
one
just-
to watch in trials.
Yeah, it's
And if
just
he's kicking again as well.
yeah, it's more so the price. If it was full Pappenhausen price, it usually would be absolutely in a void. But if you can get a premium level player for that price, I think you
Yeah.
got to take the risk.
I'll just read them out all now. So I've got Ryan Pappenhausen, $4.95K. Brendan Piacora at $3.99K.
He's going to start, isn't he?
What a
Yeah.
star.
Flanagan, $3.49K. And Joshy Karan at $501K. So I think Karan definitely. Piacora, I think, starts on the edge, doesn't he?
Yeah, he
Oh,
has to.
sure.
Yeah.
I think Curran was disrespected at the Warriors last year. Such
Yeah.
a good player and just not
Yeah.
utilised well.
Agreed.
That was one sign in this offseason where I'm looking at the Dragons like, bruh.
You should have just gone from yeah.
Do Dragons do anything in their offseason? Do they just watch
We-
everything go
We
down?
wait until a player's 5 years out
Yeah.
of their prime, and then we sign
yeah.
him.
I think the Dragons go on holiday, and then like a week to go, he's like, "Oh shit, we need to sign some players. Let's
Shit,
sign.
We need
yeah.
Mbai
Yeah,
now.
yeah, let's sign Aaron Woods, and let's sign.
They're literally
God
celeb.
damn.
They're celeb.
Yeah.
Flanagan could have a good year if one
Be
guy.
good.
If one guy's going to get the most out of him, it's his papa.
It's old man nepotism.
All right, boys, we'll finish on another niche sport. Bentley, you're a big fan of tennis.
I actually am a large fan of tennis.
Unfortunately, the Oz Open's coming up, and it feels a bit dead.
Yeah, let's be real. King Kyrgios being out, like, I think that just removes half of Australia watching it, to be honest, especially the youth.
But also, is the way tennis marketed? Like, I feel like they fall behind in terms of other sports. In terms of like I think Kyrgios has mentioned this. Like, they're so traditional and like they don't like ever innovate or modernize the game.
I
Is
think
that an
that's
issue?
like I think it's similar to cricket as well. Like
Yeah.
you don't see like a lot of like trendy athletes coming through like cricket
Yeah.
and tennis.
Yeah.
They're so traditional and old
Yeah.
fashioned.
And then when one comes through like Heroes with the personality, gets absolutely abused.
And I think like I look at like some young players like Jake Fraser McGurk. I reckon he's got like that trendiness that
Yeah.
could bring a lot of like the youth, especially him hitting bombs as well.
Yeah.
My biggest gripe is like, so you've got Kyrgios, then you got Tomic. So people are angry at Tomic for not caring enough,
Yeah.
and then they get angry at Kyrgios for he's visibly
Like
caring,
blowing
he's
up, yeah.
frustrated.
Yeah.
They're trying to get a happy medium. Just give him a break.
Yeah, I guess Australians were just going to be riding the demon, but like at the end of the day, I don't think he's a proper contender just yet.
Nah.
Still getting there, but
Yeah.
you look at Djokovic and
Yeah.
you look at, I think Djokovic is just going to take this one easy.
Yeah.
So.
The other issue with tennis, I feel, is that people like Roger Federer, Nadal set such a high standard for like professionalism and how you should play the game and all that. That people are comparing all these newcomers to them. Like,
Yeah. That's just like Kyrgios wearing that red hat in Wimbledon and everyone just having a cry about it. Like,
it's like,
Yeah.
who
he's wearing a
cares?
coloured hat
Yeah.
and people are like, oh, you're disrespectful. Like,
Yeah.
just
It's
like,
it's boomers, I'd say.
oh yeah.
Once these boomers die off, no offense.
Damn.
Hope there's no boomers listening.
All right, boys, we might end on that one. Shit. Yeah, good podcast, boys.
That was very
Hopefully-
special.
Yeah, there's just a variety of sports going on. But anyway, catch ya.
See
See
you
ya.
guys.